Tell me how I'm supposed to breathe with no air. Can't live, can't breathe with no air. It's how I feel whenever you ain't there. It's no air, no air. Got me out here in the water so deep. Tell me how you gon' be without me. If you ain't here, I just can't breathe. It's no air, no air. No air, oh, no air, no. I walked, I ran, I jumped, I flew right off the ground.
We've drawn out the lower trachea and lobes of the lungs. We'll start with the trachea, then the carina, which is the bifurcation into the right and left mainstream bronchi. The right side is more vertical than the left, which makes it easier for objects to get stuck on the right. On the anterior side, we have the upper lobe of the right lung and the upper lobe of the left lung. The right lung has a middle lobe that is only seen on the anterior and lateral sides. Then the right lower and the left lower lobes of the lungs are seen. Overall, you'll notice the upper lobes have more surface area on the front than the back. That's the upper left lobe and the lower left lobe. Then we go to the upper right lobe and the lower right lobe. Notice that the lower lobes on the right and left have more surface area on the back than the front.
In this video, I am demonstrating stethoscope placement to hear lung function in several spots over each lobe. To auscultate for lung sounds, the examiner should place the diaphragm of his or her stethoscope over several intercostal spaces on the anterior, lateral, and posterior aspects of the thorax. It is important to listen in several places over each lobe of the right and left lungs, as well as the proximal airways. Although I am moving quickly for the sake of time, the examiner should listen to one full breath cycle, meaning one inhalation and one exhalation, at each placement. It is important to note that I am switching back and forth between the left and right lungs to compare the sounds on each side. For the sake of observation in this demonstration, I did not switch back and forth when auscultating the lateral lungs, but I listened to one complete side followed immediately by the opposite side. The examiner can also choose to switch to the bell of the stethoscope to listen for higher pitched sounds.
The first sound, bronchial tracheal, shown here in red. This can be heard over the trachea and mainstem bronchi and should be a harsh, loud, high-pitched sound. This is typically heard louder on expiration than inspiration and should have a 1:2 to 1:3 inspiration to expiration ratio. The second sound, bronchovesicular, shown here in blue, can be heard over the central large airways. This should be an intermediate pitch sound with a 1:1 inspiration to expiration ratio. The third sound, vesicular, shown here in green, can be heard through the peripheral lung tissues. This should be a soft, low-pitched sound, and the breath should typically be heard loudest during inspiration. The inspiration-expiration ratio should be a 3:1. It should be noted here that all three normal breath sounds can be heard on the anterior side, but only the bronchovesicular in blue and the vesicular in green can be heard on the posterior side.
As was just discussed, bronchial sound should be heard over the large airways. If heard anywhere outside of this space, it is considered abnormal. This is also true for the lateral and posterior lungs. Diminished sounds should also be considered abnormal. Additional abnormal lung breath sounds include crackles, which are explosive popping and can be coarse or fine, and indicate atelectasis, pulmonary fibrosis, edema, or movement of secretions. Wheezes, which are musical, high-pitched notes, indicate narrow airways. Stridor, which is loud, continuous monophonic wheezes, indicate upper airway obstruction. And pleural rub, which is when the visceral pleura rubs against the parietal pleura, creating a scratching sound at the end of inspiration and beginning of expiration.